Welcome back to the Crochet Chronicles, my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do Make It Merry Crochet Tree. This could be Christmas oriented or it could be just something for your decor. In my case it'll be just decor. So what I've done ahead of time is that I've done all of the leaves for this particular one, all the different sizes. I'm going to give you some advice. Now it is using Red Heart with Love as the choice. You can see that there's two different colors here in play. I decided to try something unique because I've done something like this in the past but with a different kind of concept, but I'm using Red Heart Colorscape instead, and the yarn changes slowly on its own. So the leaves have the potential to be different colors. So when I'm going to stack this onto this tree, it'll actually look more artistic. And so I need to give you some advice, and we have all the different sizes. There's 4 different sizes, and it's really quite not a hard pattern to be able to follow so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you started on the center cover piece, and this will be going over top of a cone. So this here's my styrofoam cone, and it says that the cone is 4 inches in diameter and it is 12 inches high. So I just picked up at the craft store if you like. So that's kind of a neat idea. So I want to just start this off. This is actually showing that there is a little thing that is glued to the bottom, like a little styrofoam thing, but I'm not going to bother to do that. But so what I'm going to do today is get yourself started, and we're going to start off with our cone. Also going to give you some advice when we get to the leaves, and I'll cover that when we get there. So in the meantime, let's get started on the cover, on the centerpiece cover. Before we get started, I want to just share with you, these leaves here are separate from the cover. So the cover is just done, and then those leaves are just sewn individually on top of this. So it's going to be very strategic on how you want to do it. So if you want to maintain one color, you can. If you want to make it more colors, you can do so as well. So let's really get started now. You'll need just a small crochet hook, a size G6 or 4mm hook. As we get started, the centerpiece cover can be pretty much any color that you want, but try to get it as close as possible. It'll be pretty much invisible. Let's start off, and we are going to create a chain 4 to begin. So with the with the size G crochet hook of 4mm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and now let's begin round number 1. 4th chain from the hook, we want to put in 11 double crochets. So the chains that we just skipped over count as a double crochet, so there should be a total of 12 of these going all the way around. So please do that, and we're gonna continue our journey in just a moment. So get your 12 double crochets in all together. Once we get all the way back around, just join with the slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. Okay, so that's the very beginning, and so you should have a total of 12, which includes that chain. So let's move on now to round number 2. Round number 2 and the remaining of the rounds, we're gonna work in the back loops only, so it leaves the strand available to you, so when you go to sew those other leaves on there, it will work out really quite fabulously. So let's chain 1 to begin round number 2, and then in the back loops only, single crochet in the same stitch. So we want a single crochet in the back loop only, like that, and single crochet in each of the back loops all the way around. So nice and simple. So this is gonna immediately start to condense it so that it will turn into a cone shape in no time at all. So 1 single crochet in the back loop all the way around for round number 2. I'm coming up all the way around, and then I'm going to just slip stitch to the regular top of a stitch right there. Let's move on to round number 3. We're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and that counts as a double crochet here and throughout. And working in the back loops, we're going to apply 1, starting in the very next one, 1 double crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. So let's do that. This is round number 3. So I'm coming up all the way back around, and I'm just going to join to the top of the beginning chain 3. That was round number 3. So continuing to still working in the back loops, and what we're going to do is that we are just going to do a repeat pattern. So we're gonna chain up 1, and in the same one of the join we want to apply a single crochet, so in the back loop only. Now the next stitch here is going to be 2 single crochets, so we're gonna start building out a little bit, and then we are going to continue then our journey. So here is the repeat pattern for the whole thing. So it's gonna be single crochet in the next one, and then the next one after that has 2. Okay, so the next one has 1 single, and then the next one has 2. Please do that all the way around for round number 4. Coming up to the end of number 4, the last stitch has 2 single crochets in it, and that's just because I'm keeping the count, so I'm not doing anything special with that. And then we're gonna move up to round number 5. So round number 5, we're gonna chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, there's your first double, and coming into the very next stitch you want to apply 1 double crochet in each of the back loops all the way around, and this will be round number 5. So coming up all the way around, I just had double crochets in each, just join to the top of the first, chain 3. Round number 6, chain up 1 and in the back loop only do this one and do the next one. So single crochet only, and then put 2 into the next one. So 1 and 2. So the repeat pattern then for round number 6 is that there's gonna be 1 by itself 2 times, and then the third one is going to have 2 into the same. So 1 1 2 1 1 2. Please do this all the way around round number 6. Coming up all the way back around, the last one has 2 single crochets, and that's just because I'm keeping count. And then we're gonna move on to round number 7. Like before, chain up 3 and then in the back loop only, starting in the very next one. Starting in the very next one, you're just gonna put 1 double crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. This is round number 7. Coming up to the end of round number 7, just double crocheting right to the end and attach to the top of the chain 3. Round number 8, we're going to pick up again. So we're gonna just chain up 1 and in the back loops only just do the same one of the join and then do the next 2 by themselves. So there's a total of 3 single crochets by themselves, and then the next one has 2 in it. So the repeat pattern for number 8 is that there's 3 single crochets by itself, and then the fourth one is 2 into the same one. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 8. Coming up all the way back around, the last one has 2 in the same one. That's just because I'm keeping the count. And then let's move up to round number 9, chain up 3, and then in the back loops only, starting in the next one, is 1 double crochet in each. So essentially you have every other round as a growth round, and then the other one with these double crochets are just kind of following its lead. Let's continue then. This is round number 9. Coming up to the end of round number 9. So round number 10 is part of the repeat pattern. 10 and 11 will be repeating over and over once we get to, beyond into rounds number 16 to 25, but for now we're gonna carry on. So round number 10 is chain up 1, and in the same one of the join you're going to single crochet, and you're gonna do the 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. So there's no growth on round number 10. So please do this, and I'll see you at the end of round number 10. Once you come all the way back around, just slip stitch to the beginning. That was round number 10. Chain up 3, so 1 2 3, and round number 11 is just 1 double crochet in each. Okay, so do that. So this is a round number 11. So 10 and 11 will be the repeat after we get beyond a certain section, but we're gonna keep on moving on into round number 11 next. So we're gonna keep moving on to round number 12 and 13 next, and I will see you back here in just a moment. Okay, I'm finishing up round number 11. So 12 and 13 is exactly what we just did, 10 and 11. So just chain up 1, and in round number 10 we're going to just put 1 single crochet in the back loop only, and then round number 11 once again chain up 3 and 1 double crochet in the back loop. So that will cover you then for rounds number 12 and 13. Meet me back here after the 13th is complete. So finishing up round number 13, just a double crochet in each. So we're gonna expand one more time, and then that's it for the expansions for this. And what we're going to do is chain up 1 and working in the back loops only. We're gonna single crochet in the same one as the join. Okay, and single crochet in the next 3. So 1 2 and 3, and then 2 single crochets in the next 1 and 2. Okay, so the remaining of this one here is just single crochet in the next 3. So 1 2 3, and then add the fourth one, so it's actually single crochet in the next 4, and then 2 double crochets in the next. So just to verify one more time, single crochet in the next 4. So 1 2 3 and 4 and then 2 into the next. Please do this all the way around. This is round number 14. Coming to the last one will be 2 singles into the same one, keeping in the count, and then join it. And then round number 15, you already know what you're doing here, and it's just chain 3 and in the back loops only, just starting that and go 1 double crochet in each all the way around. So I'm going to meet you at the end of the round, and then I'm going to kick you off to do the remaining of the repeats for this whole thing, because now it's just a matter of just repeating 2 rounds as you do the rest, and I would check it off on your list too. See you at the end of this round. This is round number 15. So coming up to the end of round number 15, and I'm just going to join. So now for the remaining of this cone shape, you are going to now repeat rounds number 10 and 11 a total of 5 more times. So 16 and 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, 25. So what I did on my sheet is that I just marked that. So let me show you that sheet, and then you can do that and check it off too. So here on my sheet it says repeats rounds number 10 and 11, which takes you from 16 to 25. So I just put it in brackets. So this is 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11. So I would do that and just check it off as you go, and let's continue then after that point, and we're gonna continue to go. So we're gonna try to keep our rows nice and straight when we slide it onto the cone, which will be the next step, which I will get this done first. So I've now just come up to the end of row number 25, and I'm just going to slip stitch, and then that's it. So the story is complete. So you can see it kind of like cones out and then it goes straight, and we're gonna be slipping that over top of the other cover. I'm gonna show you tips on how to finish this yarn. So just snip it off and pull through there. Okay, and then just grab a tapestry needle. You're gonna need one anyway for this whole project, and just slide it on. This is a wool needle. I found it at a local craft store, just an independent one, and just sliding it through the back side. So once, and when you pull on it, don't change the shape of your cone. 2 and 3. So let's just review on how we're going to slip this onto the cone. I find the styrofoam is not easy to slide onto, so what I would do if I were you is just take this and grab the tip of it and just pull onto it like a sock, and just kind of put it inside out a little bit. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this tip and we're gonna push it down over the top. So let's just do that next. So just the tip of the cone, and it's inside out, so you're just gonna push down and then just grab it and centerize stuff. So you're gonna want to stretch it as you're moving its way down. It's easier to do the little pieces than it is to do everything, and just keep on sliding it all. So the goal is to keep these lines pretty much straight as you're doing it. So you see it's up on an angle, so I pulled down too far on one side, so I just want to kind of just shift things around and make sure that we try to keep those as even as possible. Well, there's my problem right there. Okay, so let's move on, and we're going to put it down. There you go. So the cone is complete, and if you want to just tie a strand from one side to the other just to hold it straight down, you can, but once you add those leaves you'll have a bit of weight too. Let's start making leaves. So let's review on the leaves. So we have 4 different sizes that we want to do. These smaller sizes barely use any yarn at all. So if you're using self-striping yarn like this, if you use the continuous of the same one, the whole thing pretty much will be the same color. So what I decided to do as I was making the larger leaves, I started making the smaller leaves. So when I got to a certain color, I would, when I finished one, I would just do a small one and then put it aside. When it comes to these bigger ones, you can keep on making them. You don't have to just change around your yarn balls at all, because they do slowly transition. So if you're doing it like the project, it says make 28 of color A and 21 of color B. That gives you the total number of 49. For the self-striping, I made 49 of the large ones just like so, and I just kept using the yarn. So I just did a little bit of the smaller stuff so that I could get myself into these little colors without having much of a repeat. So we want 49 of this large leaf, and I'm gonna show you how to do that next. It's actually really quite easy once you get started. So let's begin to do the large leaves, still using the same size hook, a 4mm size G6. It's actually really easy. So what I'm recommending to you, keep this yarn tail relatively short, because you're gonna have to trim most of it out anyway. So keep it short so you don't waste this fabulous yarn, and create a slip knot. Then we're going to chain 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So as we start this row, this is row 1, we're gonna come down to one side, turn the corner at the base, and then come back up the other side. So these are done in rows. So second chain from the hook, always remember that it's a single crochet first, and then the next one is a half double crochet. So go in the back hump of a chain. It'll be easier for you in the future. So it's a single and then a half double. Okay, so the first two are single and a half double. The remaining all the way down, except for the very last stitch, is just a double crochet. So staying on the back loops only, just do 1 double crochet in each. So it gives you the count on how many it is, but I'm telling you, just keep double crocheting, and then the very last chain is the one that is different. So you can save yourself all that painful counting. So I got 2 more left, you can see that, and just do the next one, and then the last one we need to turn the corner and go down the opposite side here. So in the very last one you're going to put in 6 double crochets into the same one, and that will force it to turn around. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you'll find with this color transitioning yarn it will start transitioning too. So starting in the next one you're going to double crochet all the way back except for the very final 2. So again, don't worry about counting. So lay the straggler down on top of the line and just going into the very next one. So this is the underside of the chain, and just double crochet the first 2, and then move that straggler. You're just going right up over top of the straggler. You see that? So what you can just do is move it to the back side, get it out of your way. Just do 2 only, and then continue to double crochet all the way to the other side except for the very final 2. What are the final 2 going to be? Do you remember? I'll give you a moment. The final 2, the second last one will be a half double crochet, and the very last one will be a single crochet. So it's exactly how you started, if you want to recall it that way. So coming all the way over, so the very final 2 is going to be 1/2, so you're gonna get smaller, and then the last one is a single crochet. And then you turn, and that straggler that's poking up, why don't you get rid of that now? It's out of your way, and then we'll move on to row number 2 next. So what I'm looking for as I've already turned this, so I'm doing row number 2, which is the last row. You're just gonna chain up 1, and you were going to apply single crochet in the first one, and then you're going to continue then in the next ones all the way to the point pretty much as a half double crochet. Now it says to do 10, but here's the thing, you can avoid the counting if you just look. And what you're looking for, you remember the 6 that were in the end? Well, the second one in is where you're going to start the fun stuff. Okay, so you can either count or you can look. So you can see that this is the starting of the 6, so it's the second one in is where you're going to start the fun stuff. So once you get to the second one, you're going to half double crochet, and look at it. These 2 are on one side of the center line, these 2 are on the other side of the center line. So just remember it that way. And you're going to apply 2 half double crochets into each of the next 4. So these 2 that I just put in, okay, the 2 in a row is one side of the leaf, and then the next 2 there will be 2 in those as well, and that's the other side of the leaf, and that makes it that turn point that you see within the project. Now you're just going to half double crochet yourself all the way back except for the very last stitch. It'll be 1 single crochet. Now I found with myself, once I did a few of these, I got this into my head that I didn't have to excessively count, because you can see what you need to do as long as you know to look for it. And once you get all the way back, the last one is just a single crochet like that, and then that's it. You want to leave a long enough tail because you're going to use that to sew it to the cone, and this then would conclude off the large leaves, and you're gonna make a total of 49 of these. So 28 of one color, 21 of another. If you want more colors, just make sure that there's only 49, and that's the large leaf. Let's move on to the next size leaf. So we're now going to move on to the medium size. So large and medium, you can see that it's a little bit of a difference. And when I do these, I wanna just show you what I do with them. I kept all the large 49 on its own, but the other ones I grouped them together with a very loose tie here, so that all of these were the medium size, so that I could easily find them. So the medium size are slightly smaller, and it's just easier to keep it all together as one. Let's move on and create a slip knot and begin row number 1. Oh sorry, the chain for the medium leaves. So let's do medium leaves. You need a total of 14 of those. So 7 of one color, 7 of another. In my case I was just 14, and I am going to chain 9 this time. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So it's very similar to what we just did. There's just some slight variations. So second chain from the hook, in the back loop just do a single crochet in that one, and then half double crochet in the next, so it's like the big one, and now you're going to double crochet yourself all the way to the end. So the very last one we're going to whip around and create the round semicircle. So you're just double crocheting yourself all the way down the chain. When I first do stuff like this, I count it and then I look for the what is easier not to count. So the last one is going to be 6 double crochet. So let the project turn. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and there's the straggler. So like we did before, lay it down, and under the next 2 you're just gonna apply 1 double crochet in the next 2. Make sure it's underneath the stitch. You only have to do 2 pretty much, and then just let it plop to the back side. You're going to continue to double crochet yourself all the way except for the very final 2. It's gonna be done like the large leaves, where the final 2 are slightly different. Okay, so the second last one is going to be a half double crochet, and then the last one is a single crochet, and then that's it. You're done. Sorry, you're done this round. So now we're going to move along, and we're going to turn our work and do row number 2. So like we did before, the straggler is now popping out the back. See, if you keep it too long, then you're gonna waste your yarn, so keep it short. So like before, we're looking for the round circle here at the end. So this case we're going to chain 1, and we're gonna single crochet in the next 8, it says. But what I'm going to recommend to you is that you look for the middle 4 of that grouping of 6 at the end. Just eye it up. It's actually not hard to do. Okay, so here's the grouping of 6. It's the second one that is where I want to start, and what I want to do in the second one plus the other 3, so you got the 2 on the one side of the center line, 2 on the other. It's 2 single crochets in each. So 1 2, that's one side of the center line, 1 and 2, and then finally this is the fourth one. So 1 and 2, and then just carry on and keep on single crocheting right to the end, and that will conclude off the medium size that you'll have to do. And you want to leave a long enough strand so that you can use that to sew it to the project at the end. Okay, so let's do that. So just leave your strand, and that will conclude off doing the medium leaves. And just pull through the loop and put it aside. That's medium. So let's move on to the small leaves. So these are not the smallest, but they're the small ones, so it's the next size down from medium. So it just says make 7 of one color, which is A. So they're telling you to do that, and let's continue to do that. So we're gonna chain only 6. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. And second chain from the hook, you are going to single crochet, and then you are going to then half double crochet in the next one. Okay, and keep half double crocheting all the way to the end. So the very last stitch here is gonna have 6 half double crochets that circle around. So you see it's much smaller. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then laying the straggler down, just do the half double crochets over top of the straggler as well to lock it in, and just do 2 of them and then just push it to the back. So as you get all the way across, the very last one here, which is coming up next, is just a single crochet, and that's it. Then we turn our work and do the next row. Like before, we're looking for the actual pieces at the end in order to keep it going. So we're gonna just chain up 1 and we're gonna single crochet. So we're looking for the 4 at the end, which starts on the second one of the grouping of 6. And I gotten to the point where I can just eye it up. So the next 2 are on one side of the center point, the next 2 are on the other. So putting in 2 single crochets in each of the 4. And then you're just gonna single crochet yourself then all the way back to the end of the row. Like that. So you want to get rid of your stragglers and then you leave it of a tail so that you can have something to sew on to. So this would conclude then the small leaves, and we're gonna move on to the smallest leaf next. So let's move on to the smallest leaves. So you're just gonna start off with a slip knot and you're going to chain a total of only 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and single crochet second chain from the hook. So you're just gonna single crochet second chain from the hook and half double crochet in each of the stitches all the way to the end of the row. And in the last one we want to put 5 only half double crochets to do the circle. So let's count those out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you're just gonna start with half double crocheting, coming back to go right up over top of that straggler for at least 2 and then push it to the back, and then half double crochet the remaining, except for the very last one you want to do a single crochet, and then that's it, done. So those are the smallest leaves. You'll leave an extra long tail, you'll get rid of your straggler, and that will conclude off doing then the smallest leaves, and you need a total of 7 of those in order to get those to work. So let's move along in the pattern to something new. So now we're gonna start off with the star. I'm not gonna put it on my project, but I'll show you how to do it. And what we're going to do then is that you'll have to do 2 of these and you'll just butt them up against each other and sew them together so they have the thickness. So you're just gonna chain 2, so 1, 2, and then in the very first chain you're gonna put 5 single crochets in there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're just gonna do that. So we're gonna work in a continuous round. It says not to do a slip stitch. So we're gonna do 2 single crochets starting in the first one in each. So we're gonna what I would do if I were you though, I would put in a stitch marker because you may not remember where that is. So just grab a spare piece of yarn so you know where the last stitch is before you begin this round. So starting in the very next one over here, so if you're not sure just count it back and you can count that, and we're going in both of the loops, so no back looping, and you're gonna apply 2 single crochets in each. So 1, 2, so I would count, there's 1 there, so there's 2 in there, so I would count that as 1, and then I would count this as 2 and 2, so 2 in there, and the next one is 3 and 3, the next one is 4 and 4, and finally the last one where the stitch marker is, you can see it, is going to be 5 and 5. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to move on to the final round, number 3. To begin the next one, we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, so round number 3. So slip first and then chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Second chain from the hook, you want to single crochet. So just on the chain itself, so single, and then the next one will be a half double, and then the final one will be a double crochet, and that'll give you a point. So then it says half double crochet in the next chain, sorry, half double crochet, skip a stitch on the thing and then start in the next one. So we're going to skip one stitch and slip into the other. Sorry, I'm just figuring this out as I'm going. And then you're going to then chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Second chain from the hook, you're going to single crochet, and then you do a half and then a double. So skipping the next stitch and slip stitch into the next and begin again. So chaining 4 and then do singles, half, double, skip a stitch and then slip. So you're gonna do that all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of this round. When you get back around, you're just gonna slip stitch to where you started, and then that's it. So you'll do 2 of these and you'll sew them together, and then when you go to position these on the top, just leave the bottom slightly open, and then you can just pop it down so that it's just sliding up like a pole kind of concept. And that's kind of a neat idea. So this would be how you would complete the star. So now once you have everything done, we're going to then start the assembly process onto the tree. So let's do that next. The cone here is in rings. So these tight rings are where we're going to be sewing the leaves to. So if you look at the tight one at the top, so this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and then 22. So this ring here is where we're gonna start. Okay, so you can see that there's one more ring, but we're gonna start here because the leaves are gonna fall down. So what we need to do is that in the instructions it has you how many leaves that you're gonna do and the type and the size. So it's saying for you to be able to position that. So let's just take a look at those instructions next. So here in the instructions it says, as we start for round number 22, arrange straight edge of the leaves, okay, and there's gonna be 7 of those. So 7A large. So A is the color. So you're gonna do that. So if you want to have your color strategized just the way it's telling you to do, in my case I'm gonna randomize my colors. Then you're going to sew those together, which I'll show you how to do. Now because I'm missing the star at the top, when we go to do these small ones, and there's gonna be 7 of those small ones that go around the top, I'm going to do a little circle, and I'm gonna sew the circle right directly to the top of the cone. So I would probably just do like chain 2, single crochet, second chain from the hook, and then do 2 single crochets in each, and then use that circle if it's big enough to sew it down. You could even go a little bit bigger if you wanted to as well. So let's continue this, and let me show you how I'm gonna strategize this. So I have my total of 49, but I have many different colors that you can see, and what I want to do is I want to pick the first 7 of them. So you can just like put it in a like in a circle like here, you know, just kind of be fun with it, and you want to do a total of 7. So 2, 4, 6, okay, and then 7. So there's my 7. So what I'm gonna do, if I'm happy with that, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna take up some pins, and I'm gonna strategize this onto that first ring. So start at the bottom because it's easier to get onto, and take a pin and just pin it into position. And what I can do at this moment is that if once I pin it in, I'll be able to see where I need to go next. And the pin is just gonna slightly hold it, and it will then pop out later. Then just take the next one and see how it's gonna go. and go about halfway around and you'll see exactly what you're thinking for spacing. Remember, these leaves do fall over top of each other, so they will not necessarily in all rings cover all of the space, right? You can leave gapping because the next leaf will then fall down, and when you position the next leaf you want to go in the middle here so that it will fall like that. So continue to do that all the way around. So once the first layer is pinned, then you just can take a look and see if it's pretty much equal. And so when you have then the next layer that will go over top where those gaps are, you'll want to attach in areas where they'll fall over those spaces, and you'll be building it up that way. So once you have that done, you're just gonna take your strands that you had left over and you were going to then sew those into position. So putting this into your needle, you're just going to just go across and then just capture that back piece on there. This shouldn't take too much time, I hope. And then just coming back in, so just kind of grab it on two areas here. Like that. Okay, and then once you're satisfied with that, you don't have to be too stringent with it. And then what you want to do is just go across the top. Like that. So once, and then go back across the other way. It's kind of hard for this angle, but it's for your teaching benefit. So I'm gonna put this on my lap later. And then I'm just gonna go back a third time. So if you go back and forth 3 times, it should never fall off this. And then you can safely then trim that right to the leaf itself. It should never fall out on you. And then remove in your pin. And then kind of use that as your kind of like starting point and continue to sew them all together. So just follow the instructions of being able to put all your leaves and using each one of those rings. And when I come back, I'll have this completely done. So what I'm doing now is that I just did a circle, so listen to my instructions. I chained 2 and I put 6 single crochet in the beginning chain to create the ring. I slip stitched, I chained 1, and I put 2 single crochet in each one of the 6. I then slip stitched and then I chained 1 and then I put 1 single crochet in the first, 2 into the next, 1 into the next, 2 into the next. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So I'm now sewing that. So I just finished that off. So I left on the strand, and what I'm doing is that I'm sewing it to the edge right here. Do you see that? So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of stuffing in behind to make that pop up. I don't know how much stuffing I really need, but I'm just doing it so that I can do that so that when I pull this down, the top will have a point. So all I'm doing is that I'm whip stitching very much how I put the petals on, and I'm just going up over top of the fluffing so the top will peek out. So I'm just capturing the edges only, and therefore I kind of have a top there instead of a star, but if you want to put your star you can. Just remember you had to back up your star, so when you did the star we had this and you would have another one, so you'll kind of slide it over, but I kind of like it like this better because this is right for regular home decor for me and not necessarily Christmas. So this is what it looks like, and I'm really quite proud of it. It didn't take too long to sew. It was actually a lot easier than I expected, and that's it for today. So have a good day, and we hope to talk to you again real soon. Bye bye now.